Okay, so let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed that some of the smartest people you know are also some of the most struggling? Like, they get good grades, they see things deeply, they think about life in ways most people don't, but when it comes to actually living, they're stuck, anxious, overthinking everything. Meanwhile, people with average intelligence seem to just move through life easily. They don't spiral, they don't second guess, they just do things. So here's the question that made me create this video. Does being smart actually make life harder? And look, I know how that sounds, but hear me out, because science actually says yes. And if you've ever felt like your own brain is your biggest obstacle, this video might finally explain why. Now, before we go further, let me clarify something. When I say smart people, I'm not talking about people who got straight A's or who can solve equations in their head. I'm talking about you. If you're the type of person who lies awake at night replaying a conversation from 3 days ago, sees patterns and connections that no one else seems to notice, feels things deeply, like really deeply, and can't just accept things without asking, but why? You know what I mean, right? And here's the thing. Those traits that make you insightful, creative, aware of things others miss, those same traits can make everyday life feel exhausting. So let me walk you through exactly why that happens. First, your brain doesn't shut up, like ever. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're trying to decide where to eat dinner. Normal person, they pick a place. Done. Moving on. You're running a full mental simulation. Which restaurant has the best reviews? Whether your friend actually likes that type of food, or if they're just being nice. If you should have suggested something healthier, and then you're overthinking why you're even overthinking this. See what I mean? One simple decision turns into 10 different questions. And there's actually research on this. People with higher cognitive ability process more variables at the same time, which sounds like a superpower, right? Except your brain doesn't have an off switch. It's like having 50 tabs open on your computer and every single one is frozen. You're not being lazy. You're not broken. You're just mentally exhausted from a fight nobody else can see. Second, ignorance really is bliss. I know we don't like to admit that, but it's true. Think about someone you know who just doesn't worry about anything. They don't stress about the future. They don't overthink social interactions. They're just fine. Meanwhile, you see the cracks in everything. You notice when someone's smile doesn't match their eyes. You can tell when a conversation is fake before it even starts. You can predict exactly how something's going to go wrong, and you're usually right. And look, this isn't you being negative or paranoid. It's just pattern recognition. Studies actually show that higher intelligence is linked to higher levels of anxiety and rumination, because once you see something, you can't unsee it. Third, you don't procrastinate because you're lazy. You procrastinate because you can already see how imperfect the thing you're about to do is going to be. So let's say you want to start something, a project, a business, maybe a creative thing you've been thinking about. But before you even take the first step, your brain's already run a full simulation of all the ways it could fail, how far it is from your vision, what people might think if it's not perfect. So you wait until you have more experience, more time, more clarity. Meanwhile, someone with literally half your ability just starts. They mess up, they learn, they move forward, and you're still planning. This is what perfectionism actually is. It's not you having high standards, it's fear disguised as intelligence. Fourth, you feel things more intensely. There's actually research showing that higher intelligence often comes with higher emotional sensitivity, which means rejection hits you harder, criticism sticks with you longer, loneliness feels deeper. A throwaway comment that someone else would forget in 5 minutes, you're thinking about it for 5 days. A weird tone in a text, someone not responding, a look they gave you. Your brain picks up on everything. Fifth, you don't fit the system. Most systems, school, work, even a lot of relationships, they reward one thing, doing what you're told. But if you're smart, you can't just follow along. You're sitting there thinking, wait, why are we doing it this way? And does this even make sense? And the second you start asking those questions, you create friction. Teachers get annoyed. Bosses call you difficult, but you're not being difficult. You're just wired differently. Sixth, the smarter you are, the more you doubt yourself. I know that sounds backwards, but when you're intelligent, you're aware of how much you don't know. You see the nuance, the exceptions, the gray areas. So you hesitate, you second guess. Meanwhile, someone who knows half as much, they speak with total confidence. And guess who everyone listens to? Yeah, the confident one, not the thoughtful one. Here's the final reason. And honestly, this is the one that hit me the hardest. Nobody ever taught you how to actually use your brain. Think about it. School taught you to memorize, to obey, to fit in. But nobody taught you how to quiet the noise in your head, how to take action even when you're not 100% sure, how to stop waiting for someone else to validate you, or how to turn all that intelligence into actual direction. Because here's the reality. Intelligence without emotional control turns into anxiety. Intelligence without action turns into paralysis. Intelligence without purpose turns into suffering. You haven't been struggling because you're broken. You've been struggling because you've been driving a Ferrari without a steering wheel. But the moment you learn how to direct all that power, you don't just do well. You become unstoppable. So look, if you've ever felt like life is harder for you, not because you can't handle it, but because your own mind feels like too much, I just want you to know you're not alone. And you're definitely not broken. You're just built for depth in a world that moves fast. And once you understand why things have been hard, that's when your struggle becomes your biggest advantage. If this resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want more content like this, stuff for people who think deeply and don't fit in boxes, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.